Good evening, hola amigos. This is Carlos Montero from the field. We are today in front of the Educational Stadium. We are right now, extra time, Brazil and Croatia, the first match of the quarterfinal. Let's start, like we always do, with the headlines. Brazil look to dance their way to the final as they face Croatia for the quarterfinals. A match with the taste of a rematch. Argentina will clash against the Netherlands with the 2014 semifinals in mind. The From the Field team learns a little bit about Qatari culture, and we had a great time. Brazilians thought they were going to dance, they were to the final, but they found out tonight the hard way that it's not going to be so easy. Croatia is playing a fantastic game, especially the first half of the first 90 minutes. The second time they improved Brazil, but the one who was fantastic, it was the goalkeeper, Livakovic. Thanks to him, they are right now 0-0, and they are going to play two little half of 15 minutes each, and if they at the end they still time, they go to penalty kick. But let's see what we can expect for the quarterfinal that started today. The beautiful game is back at Qatar 2020. There are only 8 national teams alive, and the 2 from South America are playing today. Messi and his muchachos will head into today's game against Netherlands on a wave of confidence. Argentine's coach predicted a tough but exciting game.
Estamos acostumbrados a que los rivales planteen algo diferente siempre y bueno, veremos. Pero sí que dentro del partido siempre hay variantes, cambios, que alguno puede hacer alguna modificación, incluso nosotros, táctica, pero no me quiero adelantar porque una cosa es decirla y otra hacerla, entonces vamos a esperar, pero sí que estamos atentos a eso y hemos jugado partidos en los cuales los rivales lo han hecho.
Scaloni has to figure out how to stop skillful attacker Memphis Depay and Cody Gakpo, who has hit the net 3 times in Qatar.
Força Brasil! 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 Brasil!
Brazil, who lead FIFA ranking, heading to this evening match against 12th place Croatia. Neymar versus Luka Modric is going to be one of the highlights of this match. Croatia have proven themselves a difficult team to beat and are ready to upset one of the favorites to win the tournament. Let's see. Maybe we are going to witness an upset tonight. I don't know yet. Let's see what's happened. But now let's go with Charlie Montero, who has the 5 news that you have to know today about World Cup 2022.
FIFA cut down on the number of referees in Qatar 22 World Cup, and 2 of the 3 main judges who refereed the Uruguay matches during the group stages were part of the chosen to return home: Alireza Fagani and Daniel Siebert. Ivan Barton from El Salvador will be the 4th referee in the game between Portugal and Morocco. This will be the 4th World Cup match that a Central American referee has officiated. Luis van Gaal reacted to Angel Di Maria, describing him as the worst manager of his career. In a press conference, the European coach responded, He's one of the few players with this opinion. I'm really sorry about this and I find it sad he said this. Qatar is investigating death of a worker at the World Cup. A migrant worker was reportedly killed while doing repairs at a resort that had served as the Saudi team's training base. Nasser Al-Qatar, the head of Qatar's organizing committee for the World Cup, expresses condolences to the family of the worker. Raheem Sterling returns to Qatar and will rejoin the squad just in time for the game against France, after flying to England to tend to his family following a burglary at his home.
The Brazilian team is having problems tonight. They still 0-0 against Croatia. Even Casemiro, one of the leaders of the team, is not having a good night. But with Casemiro, you never know what could happen. He can change the game in a few seconds. Let's talk a little bit about him.
His career began to take off at the age of 18 when he managed to join the first team in the youth categories of Sao Paulo with excellent results in the Brazilian U20 national team, which facilitated his signing by Real Madrid, who placed him in Real Madrid Castilla for the 2012-2013 season until he was later transferred to Oporto in 2014-2015. Casemiro's skills enable him to be a powerful player highly capable of developing as a defensive midfielder, strength that let him shine in Portuguese soccer in around 40 games with 4 goals scored. In this sense, despite his success in the Portuguese ranks, his path has taken him back to Madrid, a club that has spared no effort in showing its interest in the Brazilian player, who has shown what he is made of with his tactical audacity in the Champions League final. As for his career in World Cups, he has been present in 2 with the Brazilian national team, playing 7 games and scoring 1 goal with goal scored average of 0.14, which identifies him as a potent weapon of the Canarinhas that could deliver a great performance in the upcoming Brazil vs Croatia match.
In the stadium, Ronaldo, the Brazilian legend, is watching this match, supporting his team, and usually he has a TV show on streaming and he interviews some of the best Brazilian players who adore him. Let's see what Ronaldo means for the whole Brazilian team.
Alongside legends such as Cafu, Roberto Carlos and Kaká, Ronaldo Nazario, the phenomenon, has been at the stadium every time Brazil has played, the second top scorer in the history of the World Championships and 2-time champion of this tournament, has conducted interviews with several players of the national team. Rodrigo left a curious anecdote when at the end of the conversation with him, he touched his legs as if he was taking some kind of power. Meanwhile, Richarlison cried at the moment he saw his idol come down to graduate him. Ronaldo has been an emotional boost for the team. Other players love him and know that he is a support from the stands.
Charlie Montero spent part of the afternoon in the desert. He was fascinated. He said it's something great that we all should watch. He prepared this story.
Thank you, Carlos. You know we love football here from the field, but we couldn't come all the way to Qatar without getting to know a desert. What do you say we get to know a little bit about this beautiful place? Come with me and we'll find out. A trip to Qatar isn't complete without a visit to the inland sea and the Arabian Desert. This beautiful place is located to the southeastern side of the country and is recognized by the UNESCO as Qatar's largest nature reserve. It is one of the few places in the world where the sea enroaches the desert. Here, visitors are able to enjoy various activities, from riding on camels, sandboarding, and doing a desert safari by 4x4. If you love animals, then you are in luck. The reserve is home to wildlife and marine life, so be on the lookout for turtles, dugongs, Arabian oryx, camels, and more. How long have you been taking care of these animals?
All camel, 60 camel here. 60.
16?
60.
60?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
And what's something that surprises people when they go on the camels?
Oh. Too much people is come here.
Yeah?
All people here. Argentina, Brazil, Mexico, Almania, Spain, all people. Yes, yes, yes.
And what is it like to travel on camels? Where do you guys go?
It's a long ride, 20 minutes. 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Just go up there, come back. They stop there, take picture, but they come back. This is a short ride here, 5 minutes. Short ride 5 minutes. Long ride 20 minutes.
How was it riding the camels?
It was fun. I think it was like 5-10 minutes, probably 5 minutes.
Yeah, it was good. Getting down was the most interesting part.
Yeah.
Kind of bucks you like a bull when you're going down.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it similar to riding a horse, or is it very different?
Not even close to riding a horse.
Really?
Mm-mm.
What's the sensation like?
They're
Nah.
bouncy. They bounce a lot. They're pretty
Yeah.
bouncy.
Yeah, bouncy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I read online that it's like the ships of the desert, like because the motion feels like a boat. It's
Pretty much. Yeah. Yep. They go side to side. Yeah, they're fun.
and they make weird noises too.
Oh yeah, they make weird noises. They're goofy.
One was like really goofy. He was making a lot of funny noises. It was funny.
And what's the trip like? You go up there 20 minutes, you take a picture, and you come down.
No, I think for us it was like 5 minutes because it was part of a tour.
Yeah,
So just like
it was
up
quick.
to the sand and then back. So it was very short.
Yeah, up down picture. It was quick. Ours was, anyways.
Would you recommend it for other people?
Sure, if they're doing a multitude of things, you know, it's a good pit
It's an
stop.
experience, something to do. Yeah.
It's a pit stop for sure.
There you have it, Carlos. Today we came to visit Qatar's desert, and we met a beautiful beast, these camels. Back to you.
Let's say that Brazil beat Croatia tonight and then Argentina, Netherlands, the two South American teams that are going to meet in the semifinals. That's going to take me to the trivia of the day. Before the break, we want to ask you this question. When was the last time that Brazil and Argentina reached the semifinals? We are going to give you the answer at the end of this show. And also remember, you can follow us on Twitter from the field, or also you can follow us at my personal account, C. Montero Oficial and Telesur English. We'll be right back with much more information. This is Carlos Montero from the field. We are in front of the educational stadium where Brazil, Neymar, just scored a goal. It took them time. They are in the extra time, but we are getting closer to semifinals between Brazil and Argentina. If Argentina beats in the second match of the night Netherlands, that's going to be a very close match. The two national teams, they know each other very much. 2014 Argentina eliminate. Listen behind me, a lot of things are going in that match. But first, let's pay attention. What we can expect from Argentina and Netherlands, the second match of the quarterfinals.
One of the World Classic games will have another chapter. Argentina will face Netherlands in the quarterfinal stage of the FIFA World Cup. The balance between them in World Cups is in favor of the European team with 2 victories, 2 draws and 1 loss. However, that loss was in the finals of 1978 when Argentina lifted the cup for the first time. They arrived at this stage after having different paths. Argentina began the tournament with a suppressive loss against Arabia Saudi, but later they won against Mexico and Poland to qualify for the round of 16 as first of their group. In the face of direct elimination, they beat Australia 2-1 with goal of Lionel Messi and Julian Alvarez. The best player of the Albiceleste in this World Cup has been Messi. Every ball has to be in his feet to make danger, but he is still being the lethal weapon of the 2-time world champions. On the other hand, we can say that Netherlands has shown a solid group and has been lethal in the offensive. They began winning against Senegal 2-0, drawing to Ecuador 1-1 and beating 3-1 to Qatar. This way, they also qualify as the first of their group and face United States in the round of 16. With a tactical masterclass, the team led by Luis Van Gaal liquidated 3-1 to the team led by Greg Berhalter. Now, They will face Argentina in another chapter of this classic match, and the winner will be in the semi-finals, where they play against Croatia or Brazil.
And Julian Alvarez is going to play, is going to be started from Argentina. His story is really amazing. When he was playing for the minor leagues, he met Messi, his superstar, and he said, one day I would like to play for the national team and I would like to play with Messi. His dreams came true. Look at his story.
Young age, striker Julian Alvarez is one of the most promising young Argentine soccer players who is currently developing his potential at Manchester City of the Premier League in England, after having excelled in the youth ranks of Atletico Galchin. In 2017, he played in the Adidas Generation Cup, where he was crowned champion, and in 2018 he made his professional debut in River Plate Club, where he managed to triumph in the Copa Libertadores, until he finally earned a place in the senior national team in 2021 during the qualifiers against Chile. Later, he proved to be a key player in Argentina's victory at the Copa America held in Brazil. Alvarez stands out for being a forward who can play in any attacking position and draws attention both for his intelligence without the ball and for his ability once he gets to dominate it, being relevant also when he assumes defensive positions, always looking to recover control despite his lack of speed. Due to his great skills, he is known as the Spider in the Argentinian soccer. This player has debuted in Qatar 2022 with a performance that has been one of the best in the White Blue selection, despite the team's bitter moments, with a total of 4 matches played and 2 goals scored.
I'm sure that Diego Armando Maradona would love the way that Julian Alvarez is playing right now. It's the first World Cup without Diego, but people on the stadium, they always remember Diego Armando Maradona, and Diego will be extremely happy to see how the team is playing. Let's see what was the relationship with Diego and the Argentine national team.
The progress of the Argentine selection was always among his main concerns. He kept promoting unity and teamwork within them as a guarantee of success. It was always clear to him that in football world, the Argentine team was an authority, and that should be their role. Many times expressed his frustration about a poor tournament by his country.
I feel bad for another World Cup that passed and that Argentina is not able to have a consistent team.
Maradona's last 2 decades were characterized by his rapprochement with Argentina's leaders, from his admiration for Nestor and Cristina Kirchner to his disdain for the neoliberalism of Macri's administration.
Macri doesn't know how to read, and he's the president of Argentina. I adore her. I send a big kiss to my president.
Thus, while Macri was indebting Argentina for a century, the white-blue flag team was suffering its own devaluation in the World Cup of Russia, where he witnessed Croatia's 3-0 thrashing the team's farewell to the World Cup.
Because there are good players, although I don't blame the players at all.
As the greatest of fans, Maradona alongside his Telesur colleagues was moved with his heart on the field until the final moment, not knowing that Russian sunset would be his last World Cup, leaving an everlasting mark in Latin American football history.
We always have Diego in our mind, but let me tell you a little bit about Charlie Montero. He was born in the USA, but he's more Argentine than me. He lives right now in Argentina. He knows how to ride horses like a gaucho. But what about, can he ride a camel? He said he can. Let's see if he's right.
Thank you, Carlos. You know, from the field, we love animals, and we couldn't lose the opportunity to get to know some camels right here in Qatar. What do you say we get to know a little bit more about these majestic desert animals? Camels are an important part of Qatari culture. Around these parts, camels are known as the ships of the desert because of the way they sway as they walk through the sand. While Asian camels are known for their 2 humps, the Arabian camels only have 1. Many people believe that these humps are used to store water, but that is not the case. The hump stores fat and food as nourishment for the camel when necessary. When once these majestic animals were used to travel through the desert to explore new areas and spread the message of Islam, today they are a tourist attraction for visitors around the world. People who want to ride on a camel can expect to pay around 20 to 100 reais. And how are you liking Qatar so far?
Oh, it's great. It's really great. There's a lot of things happens, and riding camels is one of my favorite things.
Have you done it before? Have you ever rode a camel before?
Yeah, quite a lot of times.
And what's something that people should know about riding camels?
Oh, it's actually kind of a bit scary, but later once you ride too much, you get used to it. It might be a bit tiring, your butt and your hand, but yeah, it's okay. It's not like you're going to fall.
What's the movement like once you're on top?
It's like, it's like, yeah, bumpy and all those stuff. Yeah.
And last one sentence to describe the desert here in Qatar.
Oh, it's actually pretty cool. I like the sand, just like to kicking it. Sometimes I just like to drawing it with the sticks if I'm really bored. Yeah, it's just like this. The sand. It's just that I don't like it when it goes into my shoe.
And have you ridden the camels yet?
Still, I have to ride the camel. And before, 4-5 years ago, I was here. At that time, I ride, but this time I found different Qatar.
And can you describe the movement of the camels?
It's pretty bumpy, especially when you go up. And when you try to go down on a camel, it's really, really bumpy. Yeah.
Is it similar to riding a horse?
You could say so. Yeah. Yeah.
And have you tried any other activities like sandboarding or the 4x4?
I've tried riding ATVs before. Yeah, that is one of my favorite activities because yeah, you can speed up and race with my sisters and my other cousins. Yeah, it's really fun.
Well, there you have it, Carlos. We learned a little bit more about the desert in Qatar. Back to you from the field.
Look at Charlie from the Argentine Pampas to the Qatari desert. Amazing. Good job, Charlie. Let's do a short break and we'll be back with much more information. Remember, you can follow us on social media. We keep you informed. We try 24/7. We'll be right back. This is Carlos Montero from the field. Brazil still defeating Croatia 1-0. Neymar scored the goal. There are 10 more minutes before the end of the match. Let's go back to Charlie. Charlie, after riding a camel, he said he invited the whole team, the whole from the field team, to say we have to feel a real experience of Qatari culture. We said yes, we went with him, and look what he did to us.
Today we had a very special day here in Qatar. We learned about sword dancing, we just like Qataris, and we got to meet a falcon, the national Qatari bird. And plus, we have a beautiful view of the drones behind us. Take a look at what we did today. And can you tell me a little bit what this dance is with the sword? What's it called?
With the music for the Qatari music, this is traditional. This is fake, This is for dancing and in celebration for the Independence Day, and like this. This is only for dancing. Yeah. This is.
What's it called? The dance?
Arda. Yes, Arda. We can do it. 5 minutes. We can do it. You let the music play. You can see how you do dancing with the Arda in the Independence Day.
Do many people know how to do the dance here? Or?
Yeah, all the guy, they do the dance in the Independence Day. In the wedding, they do dancing. That is the main things in the wedding. They have to dance.
In the wedding and Independence Day?
Yeah, in the wedding and Independence Day. Not all the time. Only in this two, you can dancing.
this bird is a falcon, it's an eagle. What is this bird?
Not eagle, this is falcon.
It's a falcon.
Yes.
And it's the national bird of Qatar?
Yes, this is Qatar national falcon.
And what's this little thing it has on its head?
This is for cap putting, but for relax.
For relax?
Yes,
Okay.
that way. I will remove, you will see. Just like, this is for trading, not doing anything. He not flying, not anything.
And how old is this bird?
This is 5 year.
5 years?
Yes.
And how long have you been training birds?
This is taking fark, big fark taking after they're trading 2 month taking. This like 2 month, 1 month, this like.
2 months?
Yes.
Do they hunt, or is it just for take pictures?
Yes, hand, no problem, all.
They can hunt animals?
Yes.
Yeah? Well, there you guys have it. We had a wonderful day here in Qatar, learning about the special dancing, the falcon, and we even got to dress like local Qataris. Back to you guys.
If before the World Cup, I would tell you that Morocco is going to be in the quarterfinal facing Portugal. More probably, you said there is no way. Morocco is one of the surprises of this World Cup, but it's not the only one. Let's see what are the rest.
Let's start with Cameroon. It's true, they didn't qualify for the round of 16, but the African team tied with Serbia and beat Brazil, one of the best victories of the whole tournament. They got 4 points and finishes third in the group, a more than worthy performance. We continue with South Korea. Although they lost to Brazil in the round of 16, they managed to advance in a very difficult group, which they share with Portugal and Uruguay. They also beat the Lusitanians at the last minute. The Asiatic has a football team that is growing and dreaming of making the big leap. We continue with Australia. They were in the same group as Denmark and France. Nobody had faith in them, but with a lot of intelligence they beat the Danish and left them out. In the round of 16, they were very close to the draw with Argentina. Congratulations to them, the Kangaroos prove that they are still the most complicated rival in the Ocean Confederation. Another of the pleasant surprise of this World Cup was the Japanese. The penalties against Croatia did not favor them. But no one will ever forget that they beat Spain and Germany, 2 football greats. They keep improving and it will not be strange to see them soon in decisive instances. But without a doubt, the big surprise of this World Cup has been Morocco. They have become the 4th African team to advance to the quarterfinals and the first Arab team. Impressive what they are doing, leading the group with Croatia and Belgium and eliminating Spain in the round of 16, the pride of the whole continent. Their next match will also be against an Iberian team. They will face Portugal in the quarterfinals and dream of reaching the semifinals of the World Cup.
Croatia just scored 1-1. It looks they're going to go to penalty kick. But let's go quickly to the trivia of the day. When was the last time that Brazil and Argentina reached the semi-final? If you said Brazil 2014, you were right. And this is all from today. Thank you for being with us. Hopefully we see you tomorrow. Keep us on this on social media. We will tell you what's going on in the game behind us. See you tomorrow. Buenas noches, amigos.
Wow.